What's up guys, it's your boy Z-Light here, and today we're going to be talking about some of the most oddly specific evolution methods in the Pokemon franchise. Now, we have 9 generations of Pokemon, so you already know that there are about to be some crazy ones in here, and you might know some of them, but I didn't even know all of these before I made this list, so there's actually a lot in here. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Number 1, Ursaluna. For those of you that don't know how you evolve Ursaring into Ursaluna, it is so weird. First of all, it's only in Pokemon Legends Arceus, so even if you get an Ursaring in Scarlet and Violet, you cannot evolve it there. You have to send it over to Legends Arceus. Then in Legends Arceus, you have to gain access to the ride Pokemon Ursaluna. You have to then use that Ursaluna, which basically acts as a dowsing machine, to randomly go through the Crimson Mirelands to find the item Peat Block, which has an insanely low percentage of spawn rate. You can dig up so many random other treasures and not get the Peat Block for like hours. So you have to find this oddly specific item, and then once you have it, you can't just use it on Ursaring to evolve it. You have to then wait until there's a full moon at night. Then you can use the Peat Block on Ursaring to evolve it into Ursaluna. So you have to jump through all these different hoops. You have to be specifically in Legends Arceus. You have to have the right Pokemon Ursaluna. You have to then find the Peat Block. Then you have to wait for a full moon. Then you can evolve your Ursaring into Ursaluna, which is literally insane. Like, that's such an oddly specific process to get Ursaluna. But anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on it. Let's go to the next one. The next one, everybody knows this one. This one is how you evolve Galarian Yamask into Runerigus. Now, when I first heard of this, I thought it had to be a troll. There was just no way. But no, this is legitimately how you evolve Galarian Yamask into Runerigus. First, you have to have taken at least 49 damage from your maxed health, and they must be from attacking moves. It can't just be from the hail. So if you took 47 damage from an attacking move, and then you took the last 2 from hail, and you thought you had 49 damage, the next step will not evolve your Yamask. You're just going to look stupid driving under a random rock in the wild area, because yes, that is the next step. You take 49 damage, and you drive under this random arch rockway in the wild area in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and then the evolution cutscene just triggers randomly. That's how it evolves. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's so weird. Like, who came up with that? 49? Why? Why not 50? Why 49? I don't get it. But again, don't want to spend too much time on these. Next one, Shelmet and Carablast. Generally boggles my mind who came up with this one. So for this one, you have to trade a Shelmet for a Carablast for both of them to evolve. You can't just trade them with any random Pokemon like other trade evolutions. It's not like you just hold an item like any of the other ones. You have to specifically trade them for each other, and then their evolutions end up looking like the other one in some slight niche ways. So like, that one speaks for itself. Like, what? Like, what if I'm trying to do a Gen 5 replay and I want to use a Shelmet? Like, who out there is going to be also playing Gen 5 at the same time as me and have a Carablast ready to trade? Like, come on, bruh. Anyway, next one. We have another Legends Arceus one. This is Basculegion. This one, you have to take 294 damage in recoil without fainting, and then you can evolve. So this means you have to go take a White Stripe Basculin, you have to go like into a battle and use recoil moves a couple, 1,000 times. That's an exaggeration, but seriously, like an obscene amount of times. And then you have to keep healing up so that you don't faint. And then once you've taken 294 damage in recoil, you will have the ability to evolve. Literally, why? But the next one, this one is Inkay into Malamar. For this one, the system that you're playing on must be held upside down while the Pokemon levels up, and then it'll evolve. On the 3DS, this was a little bit more doable. On the Switch, if you're playing in docked mode, you have to physically go undock your Switch, disconnect any Pro Controller that's connected, because if the Pro Controller is connected, it will not detect the gyroscope capabilities. So undock the Switch, disconnect your controller if you're playing with a Pro Controller, then turn the Switch upside down, then level up while your Switch is upside down, and then it'll evolve. Which is like, I guess it was a little bit more doable on the 3DS when Inkay was introduced, but now it's just so tedious. Like, I was doing a Nuzlocke of Sword a couple of weeks ago, and I had an Inkay on my team with Contrary, and I was so excited to get my Superpower Malamar, and I literally went through like 3 different level ups trying to figure out what would actually register as the Switch being upside down, and it ended up being the fact that my Pro Controller was connected, that it wasn't detecting it upside down. But again, oddly specific. The next one is Finizen into Palafin in Scarlet and Violet. For this evolution, you have to be in Union Circle with another player. No, you don't have to trade with that player. Nothing else. You just have to be in Union Circle and then reach level 38, and your Finizen will evolve into Palafin. And by the way, the evolution literally does not even look that different. It just has a heart on it. Like, yes, I get Palafin gets the different form with 0 to hero, but like, you're gonna make me jump through all these hoops just for this Pokemon to gain a heart on its chest. It doesn't even get like a different cool evolution. Like, what? Anyway, next up, King Gambit. This one is, again, very, very specific. For one, you have to get a Bisharp that is holding the leader crest. How do you get the leader crest? You have to defeat a Bisharp in a certain area of Scarlet and Violet that is surrounded by a group of like 3 to 4 Pawniard. So you have to defeat that Bisharp, which will be holding a leader's crest, or you can use Thief on it. Then you give that leader's crest to the Bisharp you want to evolve, and then that Bisharp has to defeat 3 more leader Bisharp that are leading groups of Pawniard. Who came up with this? Like, I get that it's kind of cool, but it's like, for all the ones that I've stated so far, if you did not use the internet, you would never evolve these Pokemon. You literally would have no idea that they even have an evolution if you did not look it up. Like, who is going to randomly do any of these aforementioned things and then evolve? I just don't get it, but let's continue on. Next one, Milcery into Alcremie. For this one, you have to give the Milcery a specific suite, then your character must spin in a circle and the evolution will trigger. So now, at this point, Pokemon has locked themselves into a point where any game that they have Milcery in it, they have to include a spinning animation for the main character. If you notice, that was introduced in Sword and Shield, and in Scarlet Violet, your character has to do that same spinning animation so that it can evolve. So the only way that you can remove that spinning animation is if they don't have Milcery and Alcremie in the game. And while we're on the note of Scarlet and Violet, the next one is Gimmighoul into Goldango. For this one, you must get 999, which might I say is the max number possible of Gimmighoul coins, and then you can evolve your Gimmighoul into Goldango. And those 999 are only good for one evolution. If you want another, you have to collect another 999. And these are not that easy to get. Like, yes, you can go and grind them, but it is a grind. Like, you have to literally go around the region, find these random Gimmighoul that will run around. Some give you like 2 or 3. If you find a chest for them on top of some of the abandoned towers, you'll get a little bit more. But it is tedious. And it just, like, again, do not know who came up with this. The next one is a group of 3. This is Pawmot, Bramblegast, and Rabska. For these, you have to have their pre-evolutions walk 1,000 steps with you in Let's Go mode. Why they're not just friendship evolutions boggles my mind, but yes, 1,000 steps specifically, and then they'll evolve. Right. Moving on, Galarian Farfetch'd. For this one, you must land 3 critical hits in one battle. No, not 3 critical hits total, 3 critical hits in one battle in order to evolve into Sirfetch'd. So you might be asking, well, if you land 3 critical hits, or even 1 or 2 critical hits for that matter, won't the Pokemon you're battling probably faint? Yeah, you would think so, wouldn't you? Which makes this an even more tedious method. And the workaround, I think, is to use False Swipe, because that helps to not make them faint. But it's like, again, if you did not use the internet, you would have absolutely no idea that this Pokemon could evolve, or how to evolve it. The next one is actually one from way back in Gen 2. This is Tyrogue. If its attack is higher than defense, evolves into Hitmonlee. Defense is higher than attack, it evolves into Hitmonchan. And then to evolve into Hitmontop, they both have to be equal. Right. Who in Gen 2 is even looking at their stat screen? Like, come on, bro. Like, this is more doable today with how accessible, like, vitamins and, like, EV training are. But, like, bruh, how would someone even know? And, like, Hitmontop was a new evolution introduced in that game. You'd think they would have made it a little bit more accessible, but it seems like the trend with Pokemon is they make these new evolutions even less accessible than any of the past ones. But, again, I digress. Next one, Feebas and Ruby and Sapphire. For this, you had to make this ugly fish beautiful to evolve it. I'm not kidding. You had to feed it Pokeblocks until it had a beauty stat reached to a certain level. Then it could evolve into Milotic, which Milotic is a pretty cool Pokemon. So how are you going to lock it behind this super specific thing? And they did end up changing this in different generations. I believe you can give it the item Prism Scale and trade it. So they did change it into a different, more like known evolution method, but like that was oddly specific when it was introduced. The next one is Mantike into Mantine. For this one, you must have a Remoraid in your party for Mantike to evolve into Mantine. Again, if someone is just doing a regular playthrough of the game and they have a Mantike as their water type, why are they going to also have another water type Remoraid? Like, the only way you're accomplishing this evolution method is if you specifically know that that is the method to do it. You're not going to just by chance do this evolution method. The next one is evolving Nincada into Shedinja/Ninjask. Nincada will evolve into Ninjask at level 20, but in order to get Shedinja, you have to have an empty slot in your party and you have to have at least one Pokeball available in your bag. So this one, you could probably do this one by accident because Nincada is accessible pretty early on in Ruby and Sapphire. So props to them for this one. This one could actually happen, but it is, again, still very oddly specific. And the final one we're going to talk about on this list is Sliggoo into Goodra. And for this one, it has to be raining for Sliggoo to evolve into Goodra. And no, you can't just go into a battle and use Rain Dance. The physical environment has to be rain. So it's just RNG. You have to find a location where it's raining, go to that location, level up, and then your Sliggoo will evolve into Goodra. And you know what? They had the Hisuian Sliggoo. They had the chance to retcon this. They could have given it a different evolution. No, they kept that same thing. So like for Galarian Runerius, Galarian Farfetch'd, they gave them different evolution methods. For Hisuian Sliggoo, they were like, nope, you get the exact same evolution method. The exact same complicated niche evolution method, you get that one. Seriously, again, I do not understand who came up with these. They were definitely on something, and I want to know what that was. But yeah, those are some of the most oddly specific niche evolution methods in the Pokemon franchise. Let me know if there are any more that I left out in this video. I'm pretty sure I covered all of them, but if there's any I didn't, let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, it's been your boy, Eli. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.